normal question that any teacher would ask. Hey, where were we for the last 30 minutes? I know you were in the building. Asked very politely, straight to the point, to which I get, damn, why are you all in my business?
People expect kids to be able to get away with stuff at school that not even the teachers are able to get away with. I always get lines like, people shouldn't expect kids to blindly follow authority. School is a prison. Schools just train kids to be robot drones that can't make their own choices and decisions. But riddle me this. If your child's teacher decided to walk off out of the classroom for the first 30 minutes of class and not tell anybody where they were or what they were doing, and not have anyone cover their class for them, what do you think would happen to that teacher? Like, this is not just about making kids follow arbitrary rules that they're never going to be expected to deal with for the rest of their life, even into adulthood. I've had plenty of jobs where I've been expected to be at a certain place at a certain time, and if I wasn't there, I was expected to tell whoever was in charge where I was. I worked a front desk job at a dance studio. Even in that environment, I still couldn't just walk off the job for 30 minutes and not man the phones and tell my boss where I was. Our children are emboldened to act like this towards their teacher and tell them, that's none of your business where I'm at for 30 minutes of the day. Because the adults in their life tell them that they are entitled to be emboldened about that behavior. They are being taught that it is not necessary for anyone to know where you are for safety reasons or classroom protocol or anything. They're taught that they're entitled to move about freely on campus regardless of what anybody else is expected to do. Because you don't want your child to blindly follow authority, now they feel like they can wander off and go outside, go in the hallway, sit in the bathroom for 45 minutes and vape and miss half of the class. Like, none of that matters to them anymore because you're teaching them that it is okay to not follow simple classroom procedures and expectations. I don't know how hard it is to understand that ingraining this mindset into your kid at such a young age is setting them up for failure, even outside of a professional environment or an educational environment. You can't just operate this way even in your social circle, with loved ones, with romantic partners. I can't just walk out of my house and not tell my husband where I'm going for 30 minutes or an hour at a time. To be a decent human being, be able to check in with that person and say, hey, I'm going to be here for this amount of time. Expect me to come back whenever I'm done with it. I know somebody is going to say, well, maybe they're doing something with a principal or a nurse or a counselor that is absolutely none of your business. Well, I tell you what is my business. When that kid has me on their schedule during that hour, it is my business to know where he is. I don't need to know the context of the conversation, but if he's leaving somewhere to go talk to a counselor or another adult about something confidential, I should at least be able to know that he was there. What if something happened? What if there was a campus lockdown? What if there was an emergency where that child ended up injured and I was supposed to be the one that knew where he was? Who do you think is going to get in trouble for that? It's always going to be the adult that is scheduled to be in charge of that student. It is absolutely always this teacher's business to know where that kid is. Even if you have this deeply ingrained belief that children should not blindly follow authority. This is the kind of thing that we're talking about when we say all we need is for kids to do the basic bare minimum, to follow classroom procedure, to follow through with communicating and letting us know what's going on. This is what we're talking about. We're not asking them to walk off a cliff or burn the building down for us. We're just asking them to check in, and when they have a pass to go somewhere, to not overuse or abuse that pass. I'll absolutely hate it when we bring parents into this conversation, but I guarantee you, there is not a child on planet Earth that is going to act like this and operate like that and talk to their teacher like that unless they're being taught to do so at home. A child that's being taught at home how to follow through and take care of business is not going to be the same child that goes up to their school and tells their teacher straight to their face, it ain't none of your business where I'm at. And if you'd like to push back and say, well, it's because the teacher themselves are not respectful and kind whenever they're asking my kid to do these things, so they have every right to push back. I want you to just listen to the beginning of this video again, because this teacher seems like the sweetest, most gentle, calming voice in the room that your child could possibly have. And yet still, after asking them as politely as they could possibly do, that child still responded with the rudest response they possibly could. So it has nothing to do with how sweet or loving or gentle your kid's teacher is toward them. If they're being taught how to not act appropriately or how to not respect someone's time or someone's classroom expectations at school, that is how they're going to act regardless.